I'm Brittany Lewis with Forbes Breaking News. Congressman Dan Crenshaw slammed China during the Energy and Commerce Subcommittee hearing Wednesday. The Texas lawmakers' questioning centered around China's theft of U.S. information. Last year alone, the Associated Press reported that the Chinese government hacked at least 6 state governments. Crenshaw directly asked about the U.S. government's success in prosecuting cases involving Chinese intellectual property theft. Listen in for the witness's response.
My questions are for Michael Shannon. So I'll premise this with these following facts. The US government estimates that every year China steals $225 billion worth of things like patents and trade secrets from American companies. The Chinese consulate in Houston was shut down because it had become a hotbed of spying and intellectual property theft in both the energy and medical sectors. The FBI raided MD Anderson and several of our other prestigious medical institutions because of incidents where Chinese spies were physically stealing data sets and samples from our medical labs. So my question is, has the US government been successful in actually prosecuting these types of cases?
In some cases, yes, and those have been widely publicized. Where they have not been successful was early on focusing on this issue from a counterintelligence perspective, when it's much more an espionage type of issue. When you get beyond the compliance questions and you get into the actual action with the intent to do something and to violate the law. So they have found success. I think the refocus of the Federal Bureau of Investigation on the broader spectrum to focus on those types of activities that are espionage-like or result in a theft of IP or are a foreign agent action is a much better approach, and I think they'll find success that way, even greater success that way.
Okay, and for the times that they do have trouble prosecuting, what exactly are the challenges to prosecuting these cases? Why are they difficult?
Well, I think early on a couple of issues. First, again, the use of the 1001 charge, 18 USC 1001, lying on a federal document or something of that nature. It's not a very strong charge when brought by AUSAs, as I understand it. It's not a very popular charge for them to bring. That's one challenge. The other is that a large portion of this is compliance and procedural misconduct. So things that were brought forward criminally might have been better dealt with administratively. Again, as they're refocusing their efforts and focusing on an espionage and foreign agent type focus, when the evidence suggests that, I believe they'll find greater success.
Chinese institutions and individuals gave about $1 billion to U.S. universities from 2015 to 2019 to incentivize soft collaboration between U.S. institutions and Chinese research institutions. How is China, how are Chinese institutions designing these collaboration activities to avoid prosecution by the U.S. government?
Well, it's been a concerted effort for a couple of decades, and it's been built over time. It's a generational issue. So you've got researchers who grew up being taught how to do this. There are contract agreements that come into play that make demands on individuals, and once you've accepted that remuneration, you're kind of in the trap. And so that they're also instructed, or once we started identifying these issues, we found instructions that indicated how they would try to avoid that. First, deny that it's you, say that it's something other than what it is, you didn't know, or where we were somewhat vulnerable, the policy wasn't clear, or I wasn't told, which is why training and education is a big part of the solution as well.
So is it better distinctions and disclosure requirements and peer review? Will that help?
Well, I think the disclosure requirements are there. It's just there hasn't been until recently, and some of the tools that we deploy can rapidly identify those potential conflicts that are out there with potential threat actors and risk rating that and then addressing those risks, starting from a compliance perspective. If you identify a relationship like that, did the employer know about it? And if they didn't know about it, are they okay with it? Again, it's people accepting risk at a level that's above their authority to do so on behalf of their organization that's causing a lot of these problems. So being able to put internal controls, ensuring that there's accountability. I've advocated also for, again, research security and other considerations as sort of a stewardship consideration for additional grant conditions. All of those things will help motivate awardees to take that step. There's a tuition cliff coming. They're going to be relying on research to fund their organizations. It's important for them to be competitive, and those with the best research security should have the best opportunity to be those trusted partners for those investments.
Appreciate your time. Looks like I'm out of it. I yield back. Thank you.
Gentlemen.